Hey insulators, today we're with AJ and Ethan. We're out here on site because as the industry is chatting on Facebook all the time and all over the social media and losing coverage, there are some reasons for that. One of the reasons can be your airlock seals. That's where I would start with the machine, checking out your airlock seals. Because if you're not getting enough air to push the material, you're going to lose coverage. Secondly, make sure that you have a good working machine and new hose. New hose helps, especially with the smaller machines. One of the things we're finding out on site is that there's also technique. And sometimes that technique can really cause your coverage to go out of whack. Some guys like to turn that blower all the way up as high as they can go and maximize the air pressure on that, and you'll lose coverage that way. I think that's what we found out today.
For sure.
A little bit too much air. So what do you think?
Overall, very happy with some of the results and some of the progress we made with several of our machines going through the maintenance checklist, like you just mentioned. How often, I think you made a good point with the time change. Every time the time changes, make sure that we're changing those seals. Mm-hmm. That was something that, these machines have never seen seals changed ever. So something that we're going to move into our regular maintenance protocol. And new hose you mentioned, we're going to set up parameters around how often we're putting new hose on. But ultimately, accountability, like you said, in the field, making sure that our settings are right and that our jobs are coming out.
It's just a simple axiom in life. You got to measure. And if you're not measuring, you're not going to know. Obviously, you got to have rulers in the attic. Make sure you guys are getting up to the rulers and not over them and not under them. Make sure you're coming up to that ruler and doing a nice, smooth job.
Going back to the air pressure, understanding when you first get started, something that we learned and that we've been working on, but we really touched on this week is we have to figure out and determine what that is supposed to look like coming out of the hose from the start of the job. Not just crank and start going. Right. We actually need to go, okay, are we getting the right arc? Do we have the right reach? Or are we, again, like we mentioned, turning our air up so high that we're just compacting all of that material?
And when you go into the job, know how many bags you're expecting to use.
Of course.
And so then measure halfway. Stop halfway.
Yes.
Say, how many bags have we used? And we're halfway. Okay, good, we're on target. If you're not on target, make some adjustments.
Yeah, what are we doing wrong? What's causing us not to be on target?
Airlock size, all that kind of stuff. So measure, and don't just assume, oh, they did a good job, it looks good. If you don't have rulers and if you don't have measurements throughout the process, you're just guessing. And that's going to really hurt. Your coverage is going to suffer.
And like we talked, the easy button is to always blame the material. Like we mentioned, Barry, we're also spray foamers. The easy button is to always say it's their fault, it's the material's fault, it doesn't work properly.
Right.
But the hard part is to put processes into place within our businesses that can tell the story if we do have those issues and we do feel like it's a quality issue, or we can intelligently say, hey, here's the parameters, here's what we've been getting on all of the other jobs, here's the data from those jobs, this is the outlier.
Especially when you're dealing with the manufacturer of the material, they're going to say, well, it's your fault. And just make sure you have those answers all at the beginning. No, it's not our fault. We do this. It's all lined up. Something's changing.
An ounce of prevention meets a pound of remediation. So small solutions usually fix the small problems, but just making sure that you are looking at every step, A through Z, before you blame something else. Just look at your process and make sure that you're doing everything step by step, and just keep it simple, and usually there's simple solutions to some of these problems.
There are. And experience, that's going to go along with
accountability with our crews in the field. That's something that we talk about at length.
Yep, have good leadership.
Everybody owns these projects. It's not just, the easy button again is to assume that the business is just making money hand over a fist and that you're just showing up to a job. But at the end of the day, as leaders in these businesses, we know that's not the case. These things are important. We have to have guys that are accountable on our projects and that understand the financial implications of when we go over by 30-40% on materials and how impactful that can be to our bottom line.
Sure.
And ultimately our success as a company.
What do you guys think about the process of coming out here and the support you're getting? And
this is fantastic. We can't tell you guys enough how much we appreciate it. This has been a pain point in our business for a while now, and we've been looking for answers. Again, back to the easy button. There's new equipment always, but at the end of the day, just having you guys come out and your experience and just things you've seen out in the field is invaluable when we're trying to troubleshoot what seems like a basic issue. So no, I mean, I don't know how you put a price on that. This is going to significantly improve our profitability on our projects, just going through the training. And these are experienced guys. It's not like our crew, like you worked with them, Barry. It's not like our crew is not experienced guys. But even experienced guys need to have formal training at times to correct some of the bad habits that they've accumulated over time. And I think we saw that a little bit today.
Well, nice meeting you, Ethan.
You too, Barry. Appreciate
Thank you, Barry.
See you, AJ.